Welcome in a special way to my YouTube channel, to you all for all the first-timers. Please do well to subscribe to our channel to get more updates on your exams. So today we are going to be talking about the biology specimen for the 2025 session. So as you can see on the screen, these are the selected specimens labeled A to O that makes it 15 specimens. Our specimen A for the practical is housefly, B is spider, C is pride of Barbados flower, D is bean seed, E is butterfly, F is crayfish, G is grasshopper, H is humerus of a rabbit, I is femur of a rabbit, J is a orange fruit, K is honeybee, L is a land snail, M is a guava fruit, N is Irish potato tuber, and lastly, O is sweet potato tuber. So we are going to discuss this specimens one after the other. We will also take our time to discuss the possible question formats, how the questions could possibly come out, and how you are expected to answer them, or possibly all you need to get accustomed to for a successful practical. So let's dive into all we need to know. So as you can see on the screen, here's the first specimen, specimen A, housefly. The first and most important thing we need to keep in mind is that we might be asked to draw and label a housefly. This might seem like a lot of work, but even if you are asked to do that, don't panic. As far as you understand the major parts of a housefly, drawing it should even be easier. That is why you should listen very careful as we explain out everything you need to know. Firstly, you should note that a housefly is divided into three distinct parts. One is the head. The head of a housefly includes 1. Compound eyes. Detect movement and changes in light. 2. Antennae. Detect odors and sounds. These sensory organs help the housefly navigate and find food. There are other parts in the head, but the compound eye and the antenna is the most important. The next is the thorax. The thorax consists of the wings and 6 jointed legs, 3 on both sides. Note that the legs are jointed, as drawing without signifying that might deduct some significant mark. The next part is the abdomen. This is the site for its digestive system, responsible for nutrient absorption and waste elimination. The abdomen plays a crucial role in the housefly's digestive process. Now let's talk about other things you should expect from this specimen. First is the specimen's scientific name. You should be very familiar with that. The biological name of the housefly is Musca domestica. Musca is the genus name. Domestica is the species name. This binomial nomenclature is used universally to identify the species. So the next thing we want to know about housefly is their biological classification. The biological classification of the housefly is: number 1, their kingdom is kingdom Animalia. Phylum is Arthropoda. Class is Insecta. Order is Diptera. Family is Muscidae. Genus is Musca. And finally, their species is Musca domestica. This hierarchical system categorizes the housefly from broadest to most specific level. So the last thing we would want to learn about housefly is A, characteristics. They have grayish-black body, large compound eyes, transparent wings, and 6 jointed legs. Behavior. They are attracted to decaying matter, food, and sugary substances, can spread diseases. Reproduction. There undergoes complete metamorphosis, with females laying eggs in decaying organic matter. Ecological role, contributes to decomposition, but is also a vector for diseases in humans and animals. Questions could come from housefly in the form of A. Describe the structure and function of the compound eye of the housefly. If we are asked that, of course it's simple to answer that. For the structure, compound eyes are large, prominent eyes made up of thousands of individual lenses, giving them a wide field of vision and ability to detect movement. For the function, they detect movement and changes in light, helping the housefly navigate and find food. Another question could come in the form of what is the use of proboscis in the housefly. Of course, it's used for feeding, as the housefly use it to draw up fluids such as nectars and decaying matter. Finally, we could also be asked the economic importance of housefly, and if we are asked that, of course it's simple. Houseflies have significant economic implications due to 1. Disease transmission, e.g. typhoid, cholera. 2. Food and surface contamination. 3. Pest control costs. 4. Impact on livestock health. 5. Role in decomposition, both beneficial and challenging. These factors lead to economic losses in healthcare, productivity, food industry, agriculture, and waste management. Now let's talk about the next specimen. Specimen B, which is spider. Just like the housefly, the spider is also an arthropod. This means that they both share similarities such as presence of jointed appendages. Presence of multiple legs. Most arthropods like housefly have 6 legs, 3 on both sides, but for spiders, there have 8. Lastly, most arthropods have presence of exoskeleton. So take note of that, as that could also come out in your exams. Next thing we need to know is the biological classification of spider. So spider belongs to the kingdom, Animalia phylum, Arthropoda, and class, Arachnida. So even though it shares the same phylum with housefly, it has a distinct class, which is the Arachnida class. And that is the reason for the differences. Apart from the mentioned differences, it is also worthy to note that spiders don't have wings as houseflies, and instead of the head, thorax, and abdomen in housefly, for spiders they only have the cephalothorax and abdomen. More on that later. In case you are asked to draw the spider, all you have learnt should be used to give out a good job. You don't need to cram any diagram. Just give a detailed description of what it should look like. Remember, as we earlier said, that for spiders, there have 8 legs instead of 6 as in other arthropods, and there also have jointed legs. Additionally, they are not divided into head, buri, thorax, and abdomen. Instead, they are divided into cephalothorax and abdomen. Let's talk about specimen C, Pride of Barbados. Here are some important points we need to get used to about this flower. First is its scientific name. Scientific name is Caesalpinia pulcherrima, family, Fabaceae, which is a legume family. Appearance: bright orange or yellow flowers with red accents arranged in clusters. Leaves: bipinnate with small leaflets. Native range: native to tropical regions, often found in warm and sunny areas. The Pride of Barbados flower is known for its vibrant colors and is commonly used in landscaping and gardening. Before we continue, let's look at some possible questions that can be asked on this particular specimen. Number 1. What is the function of the bright colors of the Pride of Barbados? Now here is the answer. The bright colors of the Pride of Barbados flower serve to attract pollinators, such as bees, butterflies, and hummingbirds. The vibrant colors act as a visual signal, drawing pollinators to the flower and increasing the chances of successful pollination. Now let's talk about the flowers of Pride of Barbados. So they are mostly cross-pollinated by bees, butterfly, and hummingbirds. They can also self-pollinate to some extent. They are mostly colored bright yellow or red. They have irregular shape with 5 petals and prominent stamens. Now let's talk about specimen D, bean seed. This will probably be the easiest one, as we weren't given a specific requirement on what our bean seed should look like, or a specific species. So we are generally going to be looking at bean seeds first. First, we should know, as usual, is the scientific name. But because we weren't given a specific bean species, what we should take more important is the family of beans, as all bean species are united under one family, which is the Fabaceae family. Let's talk about the structure of a bean seed, as we could be asked to either draw and label a bean seed, or describe the structure of a bean seed, or do the both of them. Now let's get that too. A bean seed consists of seed coat or testa. This is the outer protective layer. Cotyledons or seed leaf. Store food and provide nutrients to the developing seedling. Embryo consists of the radicle, primary root, and plumule, primary shoot. Micropyle, small opening in the seed coat for water absorption. These structures work together to support the growth and development of the seedling. Now let's talk about specimen E, butterfly. Biological description of a butterfly includes 1. Body structure. Their body consists of head, thorax, and abdomen, just like the housefly. So these is a similarity in case you are asked. 2. Wings. Butterflies have 2 pairs of colorful scaly wings that enable flight. 3. Proboscis. They have long, coiled tube used for feeding on nectar. 4. Compound eyes. Large, complex eyes that detect movement and color. Finally, life cycle. There undergoes complete metamorphosis as in egg, larva, pupa, adult butterflies are insects that belong to the order Lepidoptera, known for their distinctive flying patterns and vibrant wing colors. Now let's talk about specimen F, crayfish. Crayfish are freshwater crustaceans with segmented exoskeleton, 5 pairs of walking legs and large claws, 2 pairs of antennae, gills for respiration, omnivorous diet, generally solitary and territorial behavior. They play a vital role in freshwater ecosystems as predators and prey. Crayfish is also an arthropoda like housefly and spiders, so they share a whole bunch of similarities as we have outlined earlier. The only difference is that crayfish belongs to the class Molluscostraca, which is a group of crustaceans that also includes lobsters, crabs, and shrimp. Within this class, crayfish are further classified into the order Decapoda. Now let's talk about specimen G, grasshopper. Here are some important points we have to note about this specimen. Grasshoppers have elongated body with hard exoskeleton, 2 pairs of wings, protective and flying, strong hind legs for jumping. Herbivorous diet, plants, leaves, stems. Incomplete metamorphosis, egg, nymph, adult. Known for impressive jumping and distinctive male chirping sounds. Belong to order Orthoptera. Now let's discuss the structural makeup of the grasshopper. The body of the grasshopper is distinctively divided into 1. Head. The head contains eyes, antennae, and mouth parts. 2. Thorax. Comprises 3 segments, each bearing a pair of legs. Wings are attached to the thorax. 3. Abdomen. Contains digestive organs and reproductive structures. This structure enables grasshoppers to move, feed, and reproduce effectively. Let's move to specimen H, humerus of a rabbit. Humerus of the rabbit. The humerus is the long bone of the upper arm in rabbits, connecting the shoulder joint to the elbow joint. Its main structure includes proximal end, head, greater tubercle, and lesser tubercle, which form the shoulder joint. Shaft, diaphysis, long cylindrical portion of the bone. Distal end, condyles, capitulum and trochlea that articulate with the radius and ulna bones of the forearm. The humerus provides attachment points for muscles, ligaments, and tendons, enabling movement and support of the rabbit's front limb. Now let's talk about specimen I, femur of rabbit. The femur, or thigh bone, is the longest bone in the rabbit's skeleton. Its structure includes proximal end, head, neck, and greater trochanter, which form the hip joint. Shaft, diaphysis, long cylindrical portion of the bone. Distal end, condyles, medial and lateral, that articulate with the tibia and patella, forming the knee joint. The femur provides support, stability, and movement to the rabbit's hind limb, enabling activities like hopping and jumping. Finally, let's talk about the difference between the both of them. I mean the difference between the humerus and femur of rabbit. Humerus supports movement and flexibility, while femur bears weight, provides stability, and enables powerful movements. Now let's talk about specimen J, orange fruit. Orange fruit is a type of berry with a leathery rind. It has an oily skin exocarp, a white pulp mesocarp, and a juicy segmented pulp endocarp. The next important point to note is the type of placentation in orange. The type of placentation in oranges is axial placentation. In axial placentation, the placenta, the region where ovules are attached, is located in the central axis of the ovary, and ovules are attached to it. This type of placentation is characteristic of citrus fruits like oranges, which have a multicellular ovary with multiple locules, chambers containing seeds. Finally, let's talk about the structure of oranges. Here, all we need to lay out is the different parts that make up oranges. First, we need to make sure we draw out the epicarp, then the mesocarp, and finally we outlay the seeds and their arrangements in the placenta. Now let's talk about specimen K. First, we will start from the structure of the honeybee. The honeybee is divided into 3 parts. 1. Head, which comprises of compound eyes, antennae, and mouth parts or proboscis. 2. Thorax, which comprises of wings, legs, which are 6, 3. Abdomen, honey stomach, digestive organs, stinger. This structure enables honeybees to fly, collect nectar and pollen, and perform other essential tasks for their survival and colony function. Next thing we need to talk about is caste system in honeybees. Firstly, caste system, a social hierarchy dividing individuals into groups with specific roles and responsibilities, seen in societies like humans and biologically in colonies like honeybees. In the honeybee caste system, the queen is the reproductive female, lays eggs. Workers are female, sterile, and perform colony tasks. Drones are male, mate with queen. This division of labor ensures colony survival and prosperity. Let's talk about specimen L, land snail. Here are some important points you need to know about this specimen. Biological description of land snails. Body structure, soft, slimy body. Shell, calcium carbonate for protection. Foot for locomotion. Antennae for sensing. Feeding, herbivores. Radula, tooth-like structure for scraping food. Respiration, breathing pore. Pneumostome for gas exchange. Reproduction, hermaphroditic. Cross-fertilization common. Habitat, moist environments. Gardens, forests, and other terrestrial ecosystems. Land snails play important roles in ecosystems, contributing to nutrient cycling and serving as food sources for other animals. The last thing we would want to keep in mind is the economic importance of land snail. Snails' economic importance includes food source, delicacy, nutritional value, protein, iron, omega-3, cosmetics, snail mucin in skincare, ecological role, nutrient cycling. Snails have value in food, cosmetics, and ecosystems. Now let's talk about specimen M guava fruit. Structure. Guava fruits are berry with thin skin, fleshy pulp, and numerous small seeds. Pollination is self- and cross-pollination by insects, wind, and sometimes bats. Guava's characteristics enable fruit production in diverse environments. Placentation in guava is axial placentation. The seeds are attached to the central axis of the ovary, which is divided into multiple chambers, locules. In guava, axial placentation allows for multiple seeds to develop within the fruit.